The door slid open, and I found myself staring into two golden eyes that did not blink. My heart pounded against my ribs. The creature was low to the ground, its body built for speed, its jaw built for tearing. Every instinct screamed at me to run. I am Vorin Kess, a junior observer for the Unified Species Council. I had trained for 6 years to walk among humans without fear. In that moment, all 6 years meant nothing. I threw my translation device at the creature. It was the only weapon I had. A woman standing in the doorway behind it caught the device out of the air before it even got close, her reflexes far too calm for someone standing next to a predator. "Careful," she said, smiling like I had done something funny instead of terrifying. "You almost hit Ranger in the face." Ranger. The beast had a name. It sat there, tongue out, staring at me like it was deciding whether I was food or furniture. The woman's name was Claire Whitfield, and she was the human family assigned to host me during my first cultural exchange on their planet. My mission was simple on paper: live with a human household for one full cycle of their calendar, observe their behavior, and report back anything unusual. Nothing about my briefing mentioned that unusual would arrive in the very first minute. "He will not hurt you," Claire said, stepping past the animal like it was nothing more than a chair in her way. "He is trained. He is loyal. He is basically a giant baby." I did not believe her. I had studied Earth's biology from orbit for months before landing. I knew what wolves were. I knew this creature descended from them, bred over thousands of years, but still carrying teeth built to shear flesh, and a body built to chase and take down prey twice its size. And she called it a giant baby. I stepped inside slowly, keeping the creature in the corner of my vision at all times, the way any sensible being would keep an eye on something that could end their life in seconds. Claire noticed and laughed again, not unkindly, but with the tone of someone who had seen this reaction before from other visitors. "You are not the first alien to be afraid of a dog," she said. "You will not be the last either." Dog, that was the word. I filed it away in my memory, alongside everything else I did not yet understand about this species. That first night, I barely slept. Every sound in the house made me tense, certain that Ranger had decided the visitor from another world made an easy meal. But nothing happened. Instead, in the morning, I found the creature curled up outside my door, as if it had been guarding me the entire night, rather than hunting me. I asked Claire why she would keep something so dangerous so close to her family, so close to her children, so close to herself while she slept. She poured a drink into a cup and sat across from me at the table, thinking for a moment before answering. "Because he chose us," she said. "Or maybe we chose him. Either way, once that happens, the danger does not disappear. It just points somewhere else. Anyone who tries to hurt us has to go through him first." I wrote that sentence down, word for word in my report, that same hour. It felt important, though I did not yet understand why. Over the following days, I began noticing this pattern everywhere, not just in Claire's home. Down the street lived a man named Gerald Ashworth, who kept 2 birds in a wide cage near his window. These were not gentle songbirds. Their beaks were thick and curved, strong enough to crush the shell of a nut in one bite. When I asked if he was worried they might harm his young daughter, who liked to press her small fingers against the cage bars, he looked at me like I had asked something absurd. "They love her," he said. "They would never hurt her. She is part of their flock now." Part of their flock. As if a wild bird capable of breaking bone had simply decided, on its own, to protect rather than attack. Further into town, I visited a woman named Priya Sandhu, who kept a tank of fish in her living room. From orbit, our scans had shown similar fish species in Earth's rivers, capable of stripping flesh in seconds when threatened or hungry. Yet here they swam calmly in glass, fed twice a day by hand, gliding gently around Priya's fingers as she dropped food into the water. "They are curious little things," she said, smiling as one nudged against her knuckle. "People think they are scary, until they actually meet one. I began to understand that this was not an isolated case. This was a pattern built into the very core of how humans lived. They did not fear the dangerous creatures of their world the way my own species feared the predators back home. Instead, they welcomed them in, fed them, gave them names, let them sleep beside their children, and somehow, impossibly, the danger simply stopped being danger at all. I brought this observation to Claire one evening, as Ranger rested his heavy head across my feet beneath the table, something he had started doing more often as the days passed, as if he had decided I too belonged to his territory now. "Are you not afraid?" I asked her. "That one day the animal will remember what it once was? That it will remember it is built to hunt and turn on you?" Claire looked down at Ranger, who thumped his tail against the floor at the sound of her voice, and shook her head slowly. "He knows what he is," she said. "We do not pretend otherwise. But we also taught him something else. We taught him that his strength belongs to us now, not against us. That is the trick, if you want to call it that. You do not remove the danger. You give it a reason to protect instead of attack." I thought about my own homeworld as she spoke. On my planet, we built walls between ourselves and anything wild. We caged what threatened us, or destroyed it, or fled from it entirely. The idea of inviting a predator into your home, letting it sleep beside your children, trusting it with your own safety, seemed like madness to every fiber of my training. And yet here, across every street in this small human town, that exact madness seemed to work. One afternoon, Claire took me to visit her brother, a man named Oliver Whitfield, who lived on the edge of town near a wide open field. Oliver kept something even larger than Ranger, an animal called a horse, taller than any human, strong enough to crush a body beneath its weight without even trying. When I saw it standing calmly while Oliver's young son brushed its side, I nearly turned back toward the vehicle. "Do not worry," Oliver said, noticing my hesitation. "Bramble would never hurt him. He has known him since the boy was born." I asked how a creature capable of such raw power could be trusted so completely, especially around someone so small and fragile in comparison. Oliver rested a hand against the horse's neck, and the animal leaned into the touch, calm as still water. "Power is not the same as danger," he said. "A creature this strong has nothing to prove. He is not afraid of us, and we are not afraid of him. That is what trust looks like, once you strip away all the fear." That single sentence struck something deep inside me, deeper than any data point I had recorded so far. My entire species built its relationship with the natural world around fear. Fear of the wild, fear of the strong, fear of anything that could overpower us if given the chance. Humans, it seemed, built their relationship around something else entirely, not the absence of danger, but the choice to stand beside it anyway. By the final week of my stay, I no longer flinched when Ranger entered a room. I found myself scratching behind his ears the way Claire did, and to my surprise, he leaned into my hand exactly the way he leaned into hers. Somewhere along the way, without noticing it happening, I had stopped seeing him as a predator waiting to strike, and started seeing him as something closer to family. On my last night before returning to the council station in orbit, Claire sat with me on the porch, Ranger stretched out between us, half asleep, one ear twitching now and then at the sound of the wind. "You are not scared of him anymore," she said. "No," I admitted, "I am not." "That is the whole secret," she said. "Every creature on this planet capable of harming us also has a choice not to. We just decided to earn that choice instead of running from it." I returned to the station a few days later and began writing my final report for the Unified Species Council. I described the dogs that guarded children instead of hunting them, the birds that protected instead of attacking, the fish and the horses and every other creature that Earth's own history marked as dangerous, yet somehow found a place inside human homes, human hearts, and human trust. My conclusion was simple, though I suspect it will surprise the Council far more than any weapon or technology we might have found on that planet. Humans do not fear predators. They do not remove danger from their lives, the way every other species we have studied chooses to do. Instead, they invite it close. They earn its loyalty, and somewhere in that closeness, the danger transforms into protection. I do not fully understand this species yet. I am not certain any of us truly will for a long time. But I understand one thing, now that I did not understand before I stepped through Claire's front door with golden eyes staring back at me. On Earth, the fiercest creatures are not kept behind walls or bars. They are kept beside the people who chose to trust them. And somehow, against every instinct my own species carries, that choice makes both of them stronger. I closed my report with a single recommendation for anyone from the Council preparing to visit this world. Do not be afraid of the creature that greets you at the door. Ask its name instead. You may find, as I did, that the most dangerous thing on the entire planet is only waiting for a reason to protect you.